Operating costs and expense management are factors that can make or break a new dispensary or cannabis retail business. In this video, we are going to dive into a recent case study of how our accountants at GreenGrowth CPAs were able to help a client cut their operating costs by nearly 25% and greatly improve the profitability of their business. 3 effective ways we help dispensaries and retailers lower their operating costs and manage their expenses include optimizing headcount and payroll, improving inventory tracking and management, and managing your marketing and advertising expenses. As always, the information contained in this presentation is meant for guidance purposes only and not as professional, legal, or tax advice. Further, it does not give personalized legal, tax, investment, or any business advice in general. Payroll is one of the highest operating costs for any dispensary. If your payroll gets too high and your sales aren't growing proportionally, it can really eat into your business's profit margins. To get a real-life example and insight into dispensary operating costs, we are going to give you a little overview, a little taste of a client we've been working with and how our accounting team was able to help them significantly slash their operating costs. For the sake of the client confidentiality and privacy, we are going to omit their name and business information from this video. The client is a small, family-owned boutique dispensary in Oklahoma that specializes in carrying higher quality brands and products. The owners and employees have established a great reputation and they are very active in their community, dedicating time and resources to social work and events. The reason they came to our humble cannabis accountants at GreenGrowth CPAs is that despite strong revenue, their profit margins were too thin and they wanted guidance on how to effectively limit overhead costs. Our first priority when this client approached us was to start tracking everything. Our accountants worked with the client to diligently track expenses and sales by the hour for 30 days. After 30 days, we had enough data to find ways to help them optimize their operating expenses and free up some cash in their business. Here's what we discovered. First, the business was staffing 2 bud tenders every day of the week from open to close. Their average monthly payroll fell within their target of 5 to 10% of their gross sales. However, during their slowest sale hours and days, their payroll was running upwards of 30 to 50% of their sales. Second, our accountants noticed that certain pieces of inventory weren't selling as quickly as more popular products, which were flying off the shelves. What looked like a small inventory management oversight was actually tying up the business cash in products that weren't selling, while keeping them from reaching their full sales potential. Third, we discovered that our client was spending a lot of money on marketing and advertising. The issue wasn't the amount of money they were spending on marketing and advertising, but the fact that their budget wasn't producing a positive ROI. After we put together the data and our findings on where our client could trim some operating costs, our accountants were able to effect 3 key changes that slashed overhead costs. First, after finding that staffing 2 bud tenders from open to close was eating into their profitability, we made some strategic changes to the schedule. Moving forward, they started to schedule 1 employee for open and 1 for close, with a schedule overlap to have both bud tenders on the sales floor when they were the busiest. Typically the midday and early evening. The result? They immediately cut their payroll costs by, what was the number? 25%. Next, we worked with the client on improving their inventory tracking and management. After identifying what brands and products weren't selling, we advised our client to run a limited time promotion offering deep discounts on lesser selling products to help generate some quick cash while freeing up some stock and shelf space. This helped make room for their hotter selling brands and products. And lastly, our team was able to help our client cut their marketing and advertising spending, further increasing their profitability. Marketing and advertising in the cannabis industry are not only complicated, but incredibly expensive. Our team found that the client was generating a lot of visibility in their area with their marketing and advertising campaigns, but they weren't generating a positive ROI beyond a certain price point. We helped them focus marketing spending in key areas while pulling back in other less effective efforts. You can see how making a few simple changes to payroll, inventory, marketing, and advertising can make a huge difference when it comes to cutting costs and increasing the profitability of a dispensary. Here are a couple other recommendations our accountants at GreenGrowth have for helping dispensaries and cannabis retail businesses track, manage, and cut excessive expenditures. First, use the incredible technology we have available for us to track everything. With digital inventory, sales, payroll systems, and a smorgasbord of digital technology at our fingertips, there is no reason business owners shouldn't be quantifying and tracking every aspect of their business. If you can get a burrito any time of the day, you can do this. It's the best and most accurate way to gauge ongoing progress and find room for improvement. Once you start tracking every aspect of your business, when in doubt, always refer back to the data. You don't need to do a deep dive every week, but our accountants do recommend looking at the numbers on your high variability expenses like your inventory regularly. Fixed expenses or more static expenses like payroll typically only need to be revisited once or twice a year. And finally, the data is only as useful as the changes you implement. If data shows sales are down during a certain time frame, consider adjusting staffing. Similarly, certain products may rise or fall in popularity. Tracking these changes and responding will help keep our customers happy, your customers as well, and returning regularly. One of the biggest struggles in the cannabis business is staying cash positive on razor-thin profit margins. To maximize your dispensary's profitability and revenue, you always need to be tracking and revisiting your operational expenses and sales data. Our accountants and advisors at GreenGrowth CPAs have years of experience helping dispensary and cannabis retail operators navigate the tax codes and regulatory environments in every major cannabis market in the US. We can provide the guidance, technology, tools, and practical insights to help your operation run smoothly while raising your profitability. So to schedule an appointment with GreenGrowth CPA's team and our cannabis industry experts, call 1-800-674-9050 or visit us at www.greengrowthcpas.com. In conclusion, thank you for your time. We hope this information has been helpful. If you have any questions or want more information, please leave us a comment below. And be sure to like this video and give us a follow to learn more about the cannabis industry.